Welcome back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon. Today, as part of our half marathon to Halloween, as we close things out, we're going to be playing Zombicide Black Plague. In this particular game, though, I have included the contents from Zombicide Green Horde and the Zombicide Wolfsburg expansion, as well as a special guest box that has a couple of the characters here. So, for those of you who are not familiar with Zombicide, it's essentially a pure dice chucking, horde slaughtering game. It's really just, it's meant to be fun and lighthearted. It's not really a dungeon crawler. You always play on like either 4x or 2x2 or 3x3, or no, 2x2 or 3x2 grid of these tiles that are essentially like 9 spaces each, much bigger areas and spaces. Multiple people can share spaces, things like that. So it's very different than, say, Descent. Essentially you are trying to just complete the objectives and then usually escape somewhere. Every round, all of the heroes are going to get to activate in the order of my choosing. They're going to get up to 3 actions where they can move, they can interact with objectives or open doors. They can also attack, zombies, obviously. They have access to ranged weapons. They have access to melee weapons, magic spells, and we'll see all that here as we start looking through the characters. And then after all of the heroes have activated, the zombies will get a turn to activate. And then after that, we spawn additional zombies. And we spawn them on multiple spawn points. Right now there's 4, 1, 2, 1 way up there. And then there's one off camera to our left near the exit that we'll see soon. And so essentially the zombies become this huge horde that is, slowly creeping towards you. It can be very devastating if you are surrounded by them and aren't able to get them out of your space prior to them activating. That's pretty much it. This is the first scenario from the Wolfsburg expansion. Welcome to Wolfsburg. Our objective today is to retrieve these 4 X markers. They are, just objective tokens, and they're going to give us special XP, possibly some special items, and then get to the exit, which is way, as I said, off to the left. And we're going to have to pretty much enter into this building here, travel all the way through the building, and then come back out. Wolfsburg, for those of you who are not familiar, adds essentially 2 things to the game, along with a couple new heroes. One is this tile up here is from the Wolfsburg expansion. It creates a tower or a raised area, high ground, I guess you could call it. And so from the high ground, you can shoot, this white here is ramparts, and you can shoot through the ramparts into the street below. You can shoot, through the street and into an open door if you have line of sight into there. You cannot, however, say shoot into this building because you have to imagine there's a roof here. If there was, say, a street right here, though, you can shoot over a building that's immediately adjacent to you and into the street that's on the other side, as long as the street's open. So we'll see if we need to make use of that. May run one of our survivors up there, specifically Ariane here. Ariane Ariana, not really sure how to pronounce her name. She is basically our ranged specialist, so we'll probably head her up there. And I think that's pretty much it for me needing to explain things. Oh, and the other thing is that there are wolf zombies and a wolf abomination, or zombie wolves. The biggest thing with them is they actually get 3 activations per zombie activation. So they get to take 3 actions similar to heroes. So they can really get up on you very quickly, but they just have a single hit point. And if the wolf zombie happens to come out, or wolf abomination happens to come out, he still takes 3 hits, a 3-hit attack to kill him, but he also gets 3 activations. So he could be very devastating. Okay, and just a general note, Zombicide is one of those games that has a ton of miniatures in it, and I have been trying to paint through them over the years, but I always end up, painting some and then getting distracted. So, you might see some that are completely painted and ready to go, and then you might see some that are, this one's just primed. He has not been painted yet, or even, my Orc Abomination here has only been started. So please excuse my half-ass paint jobs here. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is this app that you can see on the screen. This is being run off of my iPad currently, and is the only way I will play Zombicide Black Plague, and is probably the reason why this game is still in my collection, especially with Zombicide 2nd Edition coming soon. That one, at least for now, is not going to be app integrated, but this gives me the ability to play this game incredibly easy, six-handed essentially, as a solo player, because all of the cards, all of the player boards, all of the decks are handled by this app. You essentially go in and you select your characters, you give them the starting equipment, and then throughout the game, if I need to draw an equipment card, I would go to the equipment deck here, choose which one I need, or I could go into, when it's time to spawn zombies, I just go here, it flips a card for me. I can also jump around. If I don't want Ariana to activate first, I can go here to Morrigan, click activate, and he becomes the active player. I can keep track of my actions down here on the bottom, and I can look into my backpack. I can move things around. So essentially, instead of having 6 player boards and several decks of cards around, all I did was pull out the map tiles, these few tokens that go onto the map tiles, and my miniatures. And that's it. I am then ready to go. I believe there's even an ability to add dice rolls to the app, but I actually like physically chucking my dice. So we'll save that for another time. So let's go ahead and get started here. On the very first turn, there are no zombies yet, so I can pretty much do whatever I want. And so my activation order really doesn't matter that much. So we will go ahead and start with Ariane. Ariana, she is going to be in our red base here. Here you can see her miniature. She's got the crossbow and she's ready to go. And as we said before, I guess we will send her up to give us a position of defense firing. So one of your actions that you can do is very simple. You can move to any adjacent space orthogonally as an action. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'm actually going to stop here. And what I'm going to do, so my first action has been used on a move. My second action, I'm going to attempt to open one of these doors, and it really doesn't matter at this point. I have to use my short sword, because you can see there's a door icon on the card, but there's also a dice icon with a 4 on it. So I have to roll a 4 or better on a single die in order to open the door. So I'm going to make a door opening attempt, and then I'm going to move into this space here. That way, I have line of sight towards that zombie. I may not need it, but okay, that went way off camera, but it was just a 3. So did not open the door. I did make noise making that attempt, and so then my last movement is going to be right here. Now, those noise tokens come into play when I'm actually activating my zombies. They're going to move towards things they can see and then things they can hear. Second. Okay, so she has taken all her actions. We'll end our turn. It wants us to have Morrigan go next. And so Morrigan has the Telekinetic Blast, which is very handy because it can open doors automatically. It just makes noise. You can see there's the door icon, but no dice roll icon. So I'm going to spend 1 action to move Morrigan here, and then 2 more actions to actually flip these 2 doors. Now, anytime you open up a building in this game, you have to check for zombies. And more than likely, there are going to be some zombies hiding in these buildings. So what I need to do here, I should have done this one at a time, but it doesn't really matter. For each room in the building, you need to flip a zombie card over. So we're going to go here, and I guess we will just start up here, and we'll start in the back, and we'll just work our way down. So this first one is a Necromancer. All right. Spawn a Necromancer with its Necromancer Spawn zone. All other Necromancers already on the board gain an extra activation. Okay, well, that's a great way to start. So here is his spawn zone. So we're going to have to deal with that very early on. And he now, the Necromancers are special because now we need to spawn for that spawn zone. He brings in like a little army with him, and then he attempts to just run away. He kind of makes it so that the zombies are going to be, you know, the amount of zombies coming onto the board are going to increase, but then he essentially is just going to attempt to run to this checkpoint here. And if he does, that's somewhat bad news for us. So hopefully we can jump out here and take care of him, because if we can defeat him, I can remove a zombie spawn point from anywhere on the board, and I would certainly choose the one way over by our exit. So this now spawn has to be for what he brought, and he happened to bring nobody because nothing's in sight. You can see that the bottom portion of this card is flashing. That's because all of our characters right now are still in the blue as far as XP is concerned. We're all still rookie level heroes. But as we gain XP, whichever hero has the highest XP will move into the yellow zone, then the orange zone, and then the red zone. So the more powerful your heroes get, the worse the zombie spawn cards are going to be. So for right now, a lot of you know, single zombie spawns or nothing's in sight. So the Necromancer didn't bring anything with him. Next is we need to move down into the room with the X. And so this is going to be... Now, this is a card from the Green Horde expansion, but since this is a scenario in the Wolfsburg expansion, I'm simply going to ignore these cards, or ignore the adding to the Horde part, because this scenario doesn't include the Trebuchet, and I really feel like that's the balance for entering the Horde, which could swarm an area with a ton of zombies if the card comes out at the wrong time. So I'm simply going to look at the bottom, which says 2 Orc Walkers. So here is 2 right there. And then we need to continue down the road here. So the other X, 1 Orc Walker. All right, we'll put him there. And none. No one. 1 extra activation. No one. So I do want to go back now because that extra activation card came out. I want to look at Ostakar here because he has Zombie Link, which we can see here. The survivor plays an extra turn each time an extra activation card is drawn from the zombie pile. He plays before the extra activated zombies if several teammates benefit from this skill at the same time, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, he is going to get an activation. Now, hold on. Is it activation or simply an action? The survivor plays an extra turn, an entire turn, not just an action. So we're going to kind of jump in here, and I'm not going to click activate because this is like a special action for Ostakar, because Ostakar can be played as a Necromancer or as a survivor, and I'm playing with him as a survivor. So what we're going to do here is go 1, 2... and then I'm going to fire into... I feel like I need to... Well, no. Let's just take on this guy. All right, so I've taken 2 actions. Now I'll just do this. Boom, boom. My third action is going to be to fire my Mana Blast at him. And if you look at the cards at the top, you'll see the double-crossed swords. The double-crossed swords mean that I can dual wield this weapon. And even though it's a magical power, since they share the same name, they're both Mana Blasts, they're both dual wielding, I can actually combine them together. So if you look at the bottom of the card, it gives me some information. It tells me, 1, I can use this at a range of 0 to 1. So I can use it in my own space or an adjacent space. I'm going to roll 1 die per Mana Blast, so I'll be rolling 2. And to get a hit, I have to hit on a 4+. And Orc Walkers simply take a single hit to kill. So either one of these could be beneficial. So as long as I get 1, 4, or better, we are good to go to kill this 1 Orc Walker. Okay, and we missed. So such is that. All right, so that's his third activation. I am now going to just jump back to Morrigan because Morrigan finished. All right, That's right. He actually finished his turn because he moved once and blew open 2 doors. Okay, so now it's back to Ostakar's proper turn. And again, we really want to make sure that that Necromancer path is clear. So at this point, I'm essentially going to take whatever it takes to get rid of these 2 guys. Because if I hit twice, if I get 2 4s or better, then I can take out both those walkers. So, all right, so there's a 5. That's going to take out 1. Boop, he just comes off the board, and I get an XP for that. I'm going to go again, attacking the same space. And this one is the 1 on these dice. These are from the original Zombicide game, but they're still just kind of fun thematic dice. So that one does not count, but the Molotov cocktail is the 6. So I was able to successfully remove him. Now, I don't really see the point in moving into that room necessarily. So I'm actually going to turn around and make one more attempt at this guy. And we'll just see if Ostakar cannot just stand in the middle between these 2 houses here. Nope, that's 2 misses. Okay, and in doing so, I made a lot of noise. I actually since I attacked, every time I attack, I make noise with these Magna Blasts. And so there's actually going to be 4 noise tokens in that space. So obviously everybody's going to be coming for Ostakar. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. You don't need to click on the actions. You can just hit end turn. All right, Ryan John. Just a little point of reference. Ryan John happens to be my first and middle name. I know that this character is based on, what's his name? The singer, David Michael. And so they called him Ryan John just to give him 2 first names. But I just thought it was hilarious that this character was literally me. You know, I've got brown hair. You know, I'm a guy and his name is Ryan John. My name is Ryan John. So he is my favorite character to play with because I really feel like I am actually in the game. So Ryan John is our orange character here. And what can he do? Let me just see. What does Theo have? Okay, so no other player is going to be able to actually run in there and defeat the Necromancer right off the bat. But the Necromancer also is just going to move into our space in an attempt to escape. So I want to make sure I'm there. So what we're going to do with Ryan John is go 1, 2, 3, and just put myself here ready for the Necromancer. So boom, boom, boom. Okay. And turn. Theo is got our yellow banner here. Sorry, I'll try and remember to show off the heroes as I pick them up again. Okay. So there's definitely going to be a big mess going on right here. So Theo, if he went 1, 2, 3, he'd get bit by this guy. So he's simply going to go 1, 2, and then wait right here, and 1, 2. Now, if I'm in a building, I can search, but I don't want to pile everybody in here. I'm simply going to let Ryan John deal with the Necromancer. This is going to spawn some zombies, and this guy's going to move in. So I'm essentially preparing myself for a battle in this square right here. Okay, so Theo has activated. There's really nothing else I can do. I don't really need to make noise. I don't need to reorganize. I don't need to pass anything off. So... okay, so there you see on the app Zombies Turn. Unfortunately, that's the only thing the app does. It doesn't like make you click a button to say, did you spawn zombies? It just, you know, so you could forget, but obviously if you were playing without the app, you would forget as well. So, again, we're not playing with the Horde, not that that matters. All right, so zombie activation first. So this guy is going to move, obviously, towards the most people he can see and the most noise. The Necromancer is coming this way. This is the only direction he can go. But he's trying to get to this other spawn point to escape. So he dumbly moves right into the same space as Ryan John. All right, now we need to go through our spawns. And you're always supposed to start with a spawn. I don't know if you're supposed to start with a Necromancer spawn or not. So I'm going to start with this kind of one closest to us, and then we go clockwise. So we'll finish with the Necromancer spawn. All right, assemble the horde. We are ignoring that portion, and we are simply putting a single orc walker into here. Then moving to this spawn point, double spawn. Okay, so don't spawn zombies here. Spawn 2 zombie cards at the next zone. So this is way off the board where you can't see. We're going to have 2 orc walkers way over here. And they're just going to be piling up in the hallway or in this street out here. And another orc walker. So there's 3 orc walkers now blocking the exit. Okay, now we're going to go to that one way up there. Nothing. Or it's an extra activation card, which means Ostakar gets to go. So I need to take care of that right now. I'm not going to back up because we know what he can do. He is simply going to Mana Blast. And if I'm remembering correctly, if you were to Mana Blast into this space, he could possibly damage Ryan John. But I believe since he's Mana Blasting just right to here, or maybe I should do this. Maybe this is what we're going to do. I'm going to move into here. I'm going to, oh no, 1, 2, 3. So this guy isn't in our space. I made this the door. This guy's just right here. Okay. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to move right here, and then I'm going to attempt to take out this guy with 2 rolls. All right, so we defeated him with 2 rolls. I'll need to remember to give him, I think I maybe shorted him an extra XP earlier too. The last thing he can do is, I guess we'll simply have him, do we want to spend a movement? Yeah, I'm pretty sure these 2 guys can take care of that one guy. So we're going to spend a movement. He's going to go after this token right here. Okay, last but not least, this is for the Necromancer spawn point. Nothing in sight. Okay, good. So going back, I just want to make sure that I give Ostakar, yeah, he should have 3 now. He's taken out 3 people. And then we will go back to... yeah, I don't really see the point in running up here because this is where we need to go. And so it's not like if I position myself up there, I could get stuck. But maybe it is worth it. Or else why would they have put it in the game? So it just feels like such a waste to have her only activation to be to run up there. Okay, at this point, all these noise tokens come off the board. So I'm just going to remove them. All right, let's get back to Ariane. And she is just going to go 1, 2, 3 to get up onto the high ground. Okay, so she's done. All right, Morrigan. What does Morrigan want to do? Let me jump ahead to... oh, man. Let's start with Ryan John, because we want to make sure that Necromancer gets taken care of. So he has dual-wielding short swords. So he's going to be rolling 2 dice. He also is looking for a 4+. And there we go. So we hit twice. It doesn't matter. We only need to hit once. So the Necromancer comes off the board. I only get a single point of XP for that, but I can remove a zombie spawn point. So I'm going to remove this one way over here by the exit. So that's going to mean that those 3 guys are going to mill around. We're going to have to deal with them. But basically, once we have cleared out the building, we should have a clear line of sight and everything, you know, we basically just need to kind of cover our escape. So that was one action. His second action is going to be to pick up this objective token here, which it is not one of the blue or greens. I'll explain that when that happens, but he gets actually 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is perfect because he's staying right in the blue for now, and I want to keep everybody in the blue at least for one more round. Okay, so he's going to take his last activation to move out here. Okay, so he has activated. He's going to end his turn. All right, so now I want to, let's go with Thundergut. We're going to activate him. And Thundergut has 2 hammers. And so he, again, is essentially rolling 2 dice, but he's actually hitting twice. Or he can damage 2 damage at a time. So if a fatty burster or an orc fatty or anything like that comes out that needs 2 damage to defeat, he is the one to take care of it for now. So, all right, so we did get our 1 necessary of the 4+. So he's taken out this guy. He gets an XP. And now we really don't have much else to do. So I do want to make sure that, you know, we can cover our escape. But let's just move him there. And yeah, I don't feel like I need everybody here. So I do want to get some people moving towards the door. So let's go right there, the other doors. Okay, Theo is going to, so let's end his turn. Morrigan, what is he going to do? Let's move to Theo and activate Theo. All right, so Theo, you can search inside buildings. So Theo is actually going to hop into here for 1 action. Then he's going to search, which we come over here to the equipment cards, and you see there's a search deck. So we'll take 1, and we got, ooh, Orc Ambush. Place 1 Orc Walker in the zone you just searched. Well, crap. That's not a good card. Okay. All right, so my last activation is going to be to use my dual-wielding short swords to try and take on this Orc Walker. Okay, so we got 4+. We were able to take him out. I wanted to come back out of that room, but my plans were foiled, so his turn is over. All right, Morrigan can now, let's see, he's going to go 1 right here and then take 2 shots at the doors. Again, he does not need to roll. He will simply just flip these over because he's got telekinetic blast. And now again, I need to do activations where we'll do from top to bottom again. So 2 orc runners. That's these smaller guys. In the game, the runners were much more obvious. They had this running pose in the Black Plague game, but the orc game, they're much harder to tell that they're orc runners. But those guys are going to go up there. They're going to get 2 activations. Let's see. The room below it is another Necromancer. Okay, so this guy's coming back. He is going to throw out another Necromancer Spawn point into this room, and he has to spawn an army with him, which is 1 orc fatty. And as we said before, Theo Thunderbutt, or whatever his name is going to have to be the one to take that guy out. Okay, so now we're moving into this room here. 1 walker. This is a standard walker. Okay, so she's going to go right there. And then this last room is 1 orc walker. So the Orc Walker is going to go right there. And again, the Orc Walker and the Standard Walker are essentially the same. They each take 1 hit. They get 1 activation. They just look a little different. Okay. So let us go back. And that was all of Morrigan's activations. Yep, he attacked, used his spell twice. So Ostakar, I believe, is the only one left. I wish the app showed you, put like a little red X or something over people who have already activated. But Ostakar here is going to come in here. He's going to move in for 1. he's going to take this token for 1, which is another red token. But that is, oh no, that's going to put us into the yellow. Okay, well, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can see this glowing area on the board. Anytime you increase into a new zone, you get to upgrade your character. So if we click on the yellow, we can say there's only one choice at this area, and it's to add an action, +1 action. So of course, we're going to add an action. Who wouldn't? So now I actually have 4 actions with Ostakar. So I've taken 2, and his last 2 are going to be to go 1, 2 to attempt to shore up this spawn point here. So boom, boom. All right, his turn is over, and Zombie's turn. Okay, so we need to activate everybody. So everybody moves 1 space towards the noise, because they can't see anybody. All they're seeing is this space, but they can hear all the noise right here. So this guy advances, she advances. He is going towards the closest spawn point, so he's actually going to try and go this way, but he can only move 1. The Orc Fatty goes here, and then the runners activate. Well, then the runners get a second activation, so they're actually going to also move into here. All right, and with targeting priority, we're going to have to go after her first, then we can go after the fatty, then we can go after the runners, and last we can target the necromancer. So there is an order that you have to target people in. All right, and now I feel foolish having put Ariana so far up into the thing there, because the range on her spiked bow really isn't that great. Okay. All right, so what do we want to do here? All right, well, at least now I'm putting myself in position to be ready. I don't think I can shoot diagonally, which seems silly from this position. So I could spend my movement to go 1, 2 and stop here. Stop here. Yeah, that might be best. So then worst case, I could take a shot at the Necromancer the next turn. Otherwise, I'm just sitting up here waiting for 2 turns. So I'll go 1, 2, and I got nothing else I can do with my actions. So my choices with her have not been stellar. All right. Oh, I'm forgetting to spawn. See, this is where I wish the app had a little bit more reminder that says, hey, you still need to spawn cards. So again, we're starting up here. Enter the Horde, so I'm just going to skip this card because we're not playing with the Horde. And you can see now we're in the yellow area because Ostakar upgraded to the yellow level. Okay, so 2 walkers. Now, at this point, I need to, unfortunately, start busting out the unpainted miniatures. So there's 2 walkers. Then we move down here. 2 fatties. So there's 1 painted fatty. But then the rest are going to be unpainted. Let's get one of the other guys. This is what the other guys look like. Pretty much similar, but... Alright, it's 2 fatties. There is no longer a spawn point way over there. So now we're circling back, going clockwise. We're looking at that one up there. That one gets 1 runner. So he's going to go way up here. And now we move to that Necromancer spawn point, which is another Necromancer, and that's the same one. So if all Necromancers already on the board gain an extra activation, spawn a Necromancer. Okay, so I believe at this point I will just spawn this guy. And now this area gets a double spawn point. And I need to, okay, this is a Necromancer Spawn. Okay, so he's going to, now we have to spawn for him, which instead of bringing an army, he's going to give all standard fatties an extra activation. Okay, so that's these two guys. So they can see here, so they're going to go here. Technically, though, Ostakar gets an activation before the zombies activate. So I'm going to need to remember to come back and do that spawn point, because I need to take a look at Ostakar, remind myself of his thing. He plays before the extra activated zombies if several teammates benefit from this skill, but he also, with his mana blasts, is not going to be able to defeat any zombies. 1, 2, activate 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they will split. Yeah, essentially Ostakar needs something better to try and deal with these guys. So he's going to go 1, 2. He's going to search for his next fireball. Okay, well that's helpful, but not really. You can see that it's improving. Well, I get to roll 3 dice here, but it's still only... So actually, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and just activate that. Instead of having to spend a thing later to do that. It's still only hitting for one thing at a time, and the fatties need a double hit. So with my last action, I'm going to move out to here. Okay, so now we have to go back to the zombie deck, and this is for our final spawn point. 3 orc runners. Okay. All right, so this isn't good. All right. Okay, so as you can see, the board started off nice and quiet, but now the ship has hit the fan. And, ooh, I forgot to activate these guys way over here, but they simply move 1 space. Okay. All right. Now, Ariana has already activated. Morrigan needs to jump in here and take out the one orc walker. He could also use his telekinetic blast, which essentially is the same odds, keeping him out of danger. So yeah, let's do that. Okay. What's in his backpack? Another short sword. So maybe that's worth it. So unfortunately, I have to take a equip action to swap those out. So that's 1 action. Then my second action will be to jump into the fray here. And then I can roll 2 dice on this 1 orc or standard walker. All right, and we got our 4 that we needed. So she gets to come off. And his turn. Ostakar is next. Now, what do I want to do with Ostakar? I think we're going to wait on Ostakar. Let's jump down to Thundergut here. Thundergut now needs to jump in and take care of this fatty first, at least. So he gets 1 activation. And so let's activate him. He's taken 1 activation, and now he can roll 2 dice. Okay, so this one's a miss, but this one counts as a double hit. So this takes out the fatty. I get a thing for that. Now I can go after the runners. Yes, the runners are the next thing to to go after. Okay, and that's a double miss. Okay, so those were all his activate. He's done. All right. Let's see. What do we want to do here? I think we want to jump to Ryan John. And he needs to take care of these 2 walkers. So, as quickly as possible, let's see what he can do. All right, dude, right there. Boom. So he gets boom, boom. He gets his extra action. Obviously, he's going to learn that. So he has taken 1 action. Now, he's going to spend another action to go 1, 2. He's not going to move into there. Yeah. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to go ahead and reactivate these guys. Since they could no longer see Ostakar, they split up, heading in different directions towards the most noise. And since it was equal distance, they split. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to surrender this last action for Ryan John. All right. Ostakar, now that he does not need to come right here, will simply go 1, 2, and at this point he is unfortunately going to take some shots into an area where we have friendly fire. So he's going to use his fireball spell here because he can roll 3 dice instead of just 2. But any misses are going to have to be placed onto either Thunder Gut or what's his toes, the other elf. So 2 misses and a hit. So let's give him the hit. Let's roll one of these, and let's go back and we'll have Thunder Gut take 1 and Morrigan take 1. Okay. And then let's see here. Back to Ostakar. That was move twice, fire, and then he's going to fire again. And he got 2 hits. Okay, so at this point, he actually got 3. I'm sorry. So he can remove this guy. Boom. And then he can remove the Orc Necromancer. Boom. And we can now remove one of the spawn points. So again, we need to go here. We need to go into this building, which becomes a huge building as we move the camera to the left. So I'm going to get rid of this one, strategically getting it out of the way. Okay. So his last action, his turn can end. And Theo's the last one to go. He certainly is not going to stick around. So he's going to move once. These guys will essentially get to right here on their next activation. But I also don't want to be the only player left standing here dealing with those 3 and this guy. So he's just going to go 1, 2, and we're all just going to hang out in this space right here. So boom, boom, boom. And turn, that should be the zombie's turn. Okay. So, just so I don't forget, these guys way over here, they are going to activate. And now this is still the noisiest space, even though, well, let's see, these guys each took a shot right here. So I think actually this is the noisiest space because Thundergut, he attacked twice. Let's see, is Morrigan, okay, no, his and Thunderguts is silent. Okay, so their attacks were silent. So this is still the noisiest space. Okay, so I'm just going to sweep from left to right. This runner's going to get to go boom, boom. This guy's going to come down. This guy's going to come down. And then these 3 guys come down. Then these 3 guys are all going to get to go. And this guy's going to get to go. Okay, so the zombies have all activated now. I don't think we missed anybody. And so let's spawn again, starting over here. 3 orc walkers. So I've got one here, and I need to get a couple more out of the box. Boom, boom. Okay. So this is going all the way around now. It's up there. 2 Orc Walkers. And then we've got 2 spawn points right here. So 4 Orc Walkers. Goodness. Ooh, I found some painted ones. This is definitely becoming a very crowded space here. And that's got one of our objective tokens in it. So maybe I should have taken one of those out. And all standard walkers. So there actually are no standard walkers on the board. And that means Ostakar's going to get to take an activation. So what Ostakar is going to do is move in here and fire now 3 times into that room. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So he got rid of all those guys. Boom. I am like an Ostakar here. All right, and last but not least is this spawn point way up here. Oh, freaking Necromancer again. Okay. All right. Let me check. See, is this a spawn? No. Hold on. Was not prepared for this many Necromancers to come out. Oh, boy. No, I do have a dead one. Okay. So we put one up here. This guy comes out, and now, see, this is a problem because he's going to spawn here, and he's got a very quick exit. But he spawns another army, 3 wolves, which is the first time we've seen any wolves. Remember, they are very dangerous. So here is what the wolves look like. There are, you know, a couple different models here. So he's bringing the wolves with him. Okay, so we may just need to let him escape. I'm not sure. Although we might be able to do something about it. They can never escape via the same space they entered. So we'll just keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so lots of stuff to do now. Who do we want to start with? Did we move this guy? This guy should be here, shouldn't he? So this guy, actually, no, no, okay, yeah, these 2 guys just moved into there. I was like, what's going on? All right, yeah. Okay, so we cleared out everything in there, but let's continue to focus on this space. So let's start with, Thundergut, since he's here. All right, let's activate Thundergut. Remember, he's rolling 2 dice. He's hitting on a 4+. No, actually, I want to save Thundergut. Let's start with Morrigan. We're going to activate him instead. All right, Morrigan is going to go after, he's got to go after the Walker first. All right, so there's the Walker. Walker's gone. And now he can go after the Necromancer. And there's the Necromancer. All right, so the Necromancer's gone. I'm going to remove this spawn point, meaning he's got to go further. So he gets another one that's 2 actions. And he's going to spend his 3rd action, I guess, moving into here to get ready to take that. Yeah. 2, 3. Yeah, that's fine. All right, Ariana, she actually finally has something to do. So she's going to attack this orc runner right next to her. I forgot she has jump, which could be somewhat helpful here. All right. So she is simply got her spiked bow, so she's only getting one die roll here. But we did get it. So the runner is gone. She finally gets on the board. She is going to take her second action to go here. And then she's going to use jump, which just real quick, we can see she basically can jump over a zone. And not have to run through it. So she's going to go whoosh and be right here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Fatties are taking... Do fatties bite you twice? No, they man. Okay. I'm not quite sure I want to run in there with Thundergut yet. Okay. So, let's see. What are we going to do? So she's done. I need some more 2 attack weapons here. And I can move this now. I don't think anybody's made any noise yet. All right, Ostakar is going to move into here. He's going to pick up this token. All right, it's a green token, which means I get a vault item according to the scenario rules. So there's 2 actions. I go here, equipment, and vault deck. Ooh, orcish crossbow. So yes, for now, I am going to take that, and this is another ranged weapon that can, this is a ranged weapon that can help me take out fatties from a distance, which is very nice. So that's definitely what I needed here. So I can move back to here, 3, and what I'm actually going to do is move into here, 4. Yeah, Morrigan took 2 actions and then moved in here. Fortunately, he had Telekinetic Blast. Oh, no, wait. What I should have done was use Telekinetic Blast. I can see into this room, so I have line of sight into here, so I can blast this door right here, which is what I want. He creates some noise in doing so, but that's fine. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. All right, so that was his action. Ostakar is now done. Let's jump down to Thundergut because I want to activate him. He's going to move in here. So now this fatty's going to come into here, and I've got 2 guys that can take him out. So he moved for 1. He's going to pick up that action, pick up this token, which is another vault token. So we've now secured all 4 pieces that we need. So really, we just need to get the heck on out of here. And as last, so we get to get a vault 1, bone, Kukuri, add +1 damage to another equipped melee item. Okay, so we'll definitely hold on to that for now. Technically, that means my hammer becomes a 3, which could become useful if an abomination comes out. Yeah, I don't need to give it to Ostakar, so our last action is actually going to be to search. I have some apples. Discard this card to gain 1 experience point. Okay, so he got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to give him his 4th action, learn. And so I can only search once, I think, per room. So he's just going to waste that action. Yeah. Okay, so his turn's over. Now, again, we basically just need to get the heck on out of here. All right, our Norse sword now could also be helpful. So 1, 2, 3. But then he is banking all of his life on this one fatty here. So let's go 1, 2. We're going to put him in this room as well. Yeah. So that was 1, 2 actions to move. He can search. All right, Norse sword. We already have that. So that's not very helpful. Ooh, but I can now equip 2 Norse swords. I just need to find the Norse shield. And his last action will be to be done. And then Theo is the last one to go. And so Theo does not want to move here. 1, 2, 3. I guess he could move up there. Sprint. What is sprint? This survivor can use a skill once during each of his activations. Spend 1 move action with the survivor. He may move 1, 2, or 3 zones instead of 1. Entering a zone containing zombies ends the survivor's move action. Okay. So he could sprint 1, 2, 3, and then he would need to spend 2 activations to move into her spot. But this would still become the fatty's priority because he has line of sight to both, but there's more survivors here. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go 1, 2, we're going to use sprint, and then he has to break away from the fatty using 2 actions. 1 extra action per zombie in your space. So now he's done. That should be the zombie's turn. Okay, so let's go ahead and activate. These guys are now going to stay right there because they would want to go this way and there's a wall in the way. Okay, this guy moves into here. These 2 guys come down here. These guys all push right here. Where was this guy? Right there? No, I think he's with these guys. These guys go, and then these guys go. Okay, then the Orc Runners are going to get another activation. Then the Orc Wolves, and then the Orc Wolves will get their 3rd activation. And this fatty now, hold on, beforehand, I forgot to move him. So he cannot see anybody. The most noise was up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he would go this way. Okay. So I believe we've got everybody covered. Now we need to spawn. So nothing, nothing, nothing. Way up there is going to be our first one. And we are entering the horde. We're skipping that one. 3 regular walkers. Okay. Then we've got 2 spawn points here. This is going to be 1 regular runner. And 1 orc fatty. Okay. And then 2 right here. All standard walkers get an activation. Okay, luckily, that's just these guys. And Ostakar's gets an activation first. So, Ostakar, hold on, just so I don't forget, 4 standard walkers need to come in over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Probably never see these guys. All right. Yeah. Okay, so going back, Ostakar gets an activation, and just to remind myself of his weapon, he can use his Orcish crossbow as a melee weapon, still getting 2 dice on a 3+ and dealing 2 damage. He does not have to risk friendly fire. So that's what we're going to do here. He gets 4 chances at this, and there you go. So he took out this guy. He gets a point. Then he can move right here. And he can, let's see. He's going to fire into this building with his Orcish crossbow. So that was 1 action, 2 actions. This will be his 3rd. All right, he misses. He's going to do it again. And he hit once, which is going to be the Orc Fatty. Okay, so there's his extra activation. And now I believe everybody's gone. So, let's not start with Ariane. Who do we want to start with here? Morrigan, I think. Reaper combat. I'm not even paying. Use a skill when assigning hits while resolving a combat action. One of these hits can freely kill an additional identical zombie in the same zone. Ooh. Okay. All right, well, I really don't even want to worry about him right now. So 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. Activates, ends his turn. Done with Ariana. Let's move on to Ostakar, the Pale. So he needs to make sure he isn't going to be in a place where the runners can get to him next time, but he does want to clear some of these guys out. So he's going to fire his fireball into that zone there. And a big miss. And he took care of 1. And so last, he's going to go boom, boom, and get the heck on out of there. All right. He did make, although he made double noise in that space, and then he got out of there. All right. So he has activated and ends his turn. Ariana, I guess, will simply... She kind of wants that crossbow, though. So she's going to move here for 1. Then she's going to take a trade action. So how do I do this? We want to go here. Ostakar wants to trade. How do I trade in the game, in the app? Can I give this to her? There we go. Okay. So Ostakar is offering that, and Ariana is going to offer her short bow and her sword. Yeah. Do I just hit back now? Good. Good. All right. So then she moved up. She did that, and now she's going to move back. Right? Yeah. End turn. Ryan John doesn't really need to do much else, so he's going to search. Just a common shield. Okay, but he will take that. It's not the Norse shield, but that's fine. And then he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's going to end his turn. Theo is simply right here. And I don't think I'm quite ready to open the door yet, but maybe I should go ahead and just get this over with. Yeah, because this is going to spawn 3 zombies if I do. So he's got, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. He's got to roll a 4 or better, missed, and missed. So that was easy. Ended his turn, and Thundergut. Now he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he is actually going to trade with Theo. So he's offering that. Theo doesn't really need to offer anything, so I can put that there, I thought. Why can't I move that? You can put a sword there. Back. So there, he's done. I don't really need to use my apples right now. Did I give myself +5 for... Yeah, I did. Why can't Theo put a sword right there? Okay. All right. Theo is done. Thundergut is done. Too many people are texting me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He is done. Zombie's turn. Okay. Let's see. These guys are actually going to move back here with their activation. These guys all go right there. This guy goes. These guys both go here. These guys go. These guys go. He is still moving towards the noise. He's moving here. These guys go, and then this guy goes. Then we're going to start our second round of activations. These guys will end up here. And then the wolves will go here, and then, woo, look at that. This is quite a setup here. Okay, this is where a trebuchet would be quite nice, but Ostakar has some stuff he can use. Ariana can cover our escape, so we are good to go. All right, so back to spawning stuff. Starting up there, we need 4 wolves. Good gracious. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then we need, in this room, 4 more wolves. Don't worry, I got lots of wolves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need 2 runners, 2 regular runners. Then over here, we need 1 fatty. And last but not least, 4 orc runners. Okay, I've got 2 right here. And I need 2 more in my box. Okay, so I believe this is a good stopping point for the video. This has gone on long enough. We are going to finish up here. We'll start with a fresh new activation of our heroes to see if they can enter this building. So that will create more zombies spawning inside the building. We're basically going to run for it. Everybody's right here by the door. And, you know, we'll have a couple guys covering our escape. But essentially, we are making a run for it. So we will see in our next video whether or not we can be successful with that. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see the remainder of this playthrough or more of our Halloween half marathon movies, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.